The second generation of rich people just buy cheap clothes, weighed without washing. As a result, I spent 3 days and 3 nights in the hospital. It turned out that the day I put on new clothes, he felt unwell. Then he became unconscious and fell to the ground. The boy was rushed to the hospital. Based on various symptoms, doctors. The boy is suspected of snorting flour. But my mother insisted. My son is definitely not that kind of person. In desperation, House could only let his subordinate sneak into the boy's home, see if he has any flour hidden secretly. But the two of them rummaged through the boy's house, but got nothing. But shall I notice it? A jar of homemade ketchup with a bulging lid. A bulging bottle cap means there must be bacteria growing inside. Then in the refrigerator, found a can of the same ketchup that had already been eaten. The two immediately took the ketchup back to the hospital for testing. I didn't expect it after House saw it, but I just picked up the ketchup and started enjoying it. Shama looked shocked, but House didn't seem to care. Because just now, the boy's condition worsened. He started twitching all over. This is not consistent with the symptoms of food poisoning. It is also not consistent with the symptoms of flour inhalation. But in the boy's blood sample, a toxin called phosphate was discovered. Phosphate esters are commonly used to make phosphorus-containing pesticides. This shows that the boy is most likely poisoned by pesticides. Doctors immediately gave the boy pralidoxime. Carry out treatment. Unexpectedly, it didn't take long after using pralidoxime. The boy suddenly suffered cardiac arrest. Doctors performed emergency cardiac resuscitation on the boy. This barely saved his life. Pralidoxime is ineffective. It also explains the pesticides in the boy's body. Need to use targeted drugs for detoxification. But the problem is, what exactly are the pesticides in the boy's body? Little Beauty can go to the boy's home again to look for clues. Soon he found a can of acetate in the warehouse, and learned from my mother's mouth. The boy sprayed that in the garden this morning. But the treatment hasn't started yet. What happened next? But the theory of acetate poisoning collapsed. The hospital actually admitted a patient, a boy with the same symptoms as a boy. But there is no acetate in the young man's home. This shows that the two people cannot be poisoned by acetate. But the two of them also have something in common. That means taking the same bus to school every day. The doctors rushed to the bus to check again. Finally, I learned from the driver's mouth. Every time he passes by a pond recently, there will be some unpleasant smell. It turns out that the county, in order to prevent West Nile virus, so I sprayed ethyl paration next to the bus route. Everything is finally revealed. Doctors immediately gave both men paration ethyl hydrolase. I didn't expect that I had just finished taking the medicine. The two bodies began to twitch at the same time. Their condition worsened again. This shows the toxin in their bodies is not ethyl paration. But, according to the severity of the two people and their heart symptoms, House deduced toxins may be absorbed through the skin. And if absorbed through the skin, it takes 3 to 8 hours for the poison to develop. Combined with the admission time of the two people, it means they were already poisoned at home before getting in the car. But the two of them were in their own home separately. Exposure to the same thing that may cause poisoning. What exactly is it? The doctors had no choice but to come to their home again, looking for two people in their home. Identical items that may appear. Soon they discovered the washing powder used by both companies is the same brand. It seems it's this damn inferior laundry detergent that's doing it. The troubled boy's mother said it was impossible, because the boy's clothes were newly bought, never washed once. This makes the condition more complicated and confusing, and at a time when there is no solution. Suddenly House thought of something. Will the boy's clothes be new too? The doctors immediately came to the utility room. The clothes of two people were found and samples were taken for testing. Finally confirmed. On the clothes, they all contain a chemical called sumethrin. Turn out to be both bought clothes from the same truck. And when the truck owner is not busy, I can drive to the wheat fields to do temporary work. So the clothes were contaminated with pesticides. I didn't expect that it would take a lot of hard work. Finally know what kind of toxin it is. The boy's mother disagreed with the treatment. A series of errors in judgment make her stop trusting House. She calls, notified CDC of son's symptoms, and stated that before receiving a reply from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, won't receive any more treatment. But the boy's condition has become urgent and we have no choice but to. House asked Sheshwai to pretend to be from the CDC. Called my mother back. After learning that there was nothing the CDC could do, Only then did the mother agree to take the medicine. After medication is available. However, the health has not improved yet. This scene also made House a little frustrated. But at this moment, House